The walkout apartment was built in 1953 and it was home to Zubir Said and his family. He was the composer for our national anthem, Majulah Singapura. The homeowner found this home by chance when he saw the previous homeowner's handmade for sale sign walking around Joo Chiat. He loved the mid-century design and also the opportunity to do the renovation project in an authentic heritage space. The homeowner wanted the home to be a sanctuary for him to come home after work. The space was designed for him as a place of calm. Hi, I'm Leon. I'm an interior designer. This is a walkout apartment in Joo Chiat. It's 1,432 square feet and the homeowner has been staying here for 6 years. The layout of the apartment had a unique angular shape with sharp corners at the edges of the house. The goal of the renovation was to gently and sensitively modernize the space without destroying the spirit of the place and also the historical integrity. The building is a 3-story reinforced concrete block, typical of the early post-war years. The block was gazetted by URA in 2003 as part of the Joo Chiat Conservation Area. Zubir Said and his family moved here in 1956, which he worked with during those years as a composer. It was built in the early 50s. Elements of it is pretty much related to some of the colonial aesthetics. That's why we were pretty inspired with black and white elements, especially black accents to certain parts of the house. One of the most interesting elements in the house are the breeze blocks, which are actually encouraging natural ventilation in the past for residential houses like this. We retain it, and at the same time, we also replicate part of the house design element echoing the language of these breeze blocks. The heritage materials used, more of them were the kopitiam mosaic tiles, so we try to use them wherever we can according to the URA guidelines. The home was in very good condition and was well maintained despite its age. The previous owners didn't change much of the home, retaining the original design and filling the apartment with his antique furniture collection. The antique furniture in the house right now were purchased from the previous homeowners. The homeowner reupholstered the furniture to give them a new life. He opted to use loose furniture in the living space in order to bring in more sunlight into the space. As you enter the home, you are immediately greeted by the living room. We wanted to stay as true as possible to the original style of the home. We picked a new door in the same style as the original. Back in the 1950s, the floors were painted concrete. We overlaid the ceramic tiles with wood vinyl tiles to minimize damage to the structure from hacking and to match the antique pieces in the space. For the living room, the homeowner wanted to have as much natural light entering the home as possible. The direction of light changes with the seasons. Previously, the balcony doors were solid wood and the windows were Naco windows, and these were replaced with glass doors and windows, the same type used in the Tiong Bahru SIT flats, to allow more sunlight into the house. The homeowner also searched the National Archives photo collection and found many photos taken in the apartment over the years, and he had these photos printed as a record of the home's past. For the dining area, the homeowner wanted to keep the space open. We went with vintage teak dining table to match the wood tone to the rest of the house, and also added the Louis Posson's PH5 lamp, which is in green color, as an accent to match the kitchen's color palette. The kitchen went through a few changes throughout its history. It was originally open to the outside, leading to the spiral staircase and the back lane. So the original solid timber door that leads to the back of the staircase was replaced by a new door where we introduced fluted glass panel, which allows sunlight to come into the backyard area. To make things more convenient for the homeowner, we modernized the kitchen by opening it up to the rest of the home, but demarcated the two spaces with these green mosaic kopitiam tiles that we sourced. And as an homage to the original architecture and structure, we added these scallop-shaped tiles to the backsplash in the same shape as the original breeze blocks of the house. This is where the homeowner eats and works most of the time. So we designed a kitchen island for his height and kept things clean with a quartz tabletop that with a marble look on it. Referencing to the old kopitiam tables that we always see with a white marble top, we decided to use these aesthetics, but at the same time to keep it more manageable and less stain prone, we chose a quartz instead of marble. After a long search, the homeowner actually found a vintage 1960s Carl pendant light. This was installed in the yard space, which illuminated the space. It was also designed in the same era as the house. We have expanded the bathroom, kept the design simple and functional for the homeowner to have more space to get ready. For air circulation, we retained and repainted the original vents from the 1950s home. The home wasn't very high up, so we wanted to ensure the home had privacy while still having natural light flooding the home. That's why we added plants to the balcony and also rolled down bamboo cheap blinds to obscure the view into the home, while still having a nicer view of greenery instead of just a street. We didn't want to have enclosed layout and we opened up the spaces, but at the same time, we separated the dining and study space with these new vents made of wood instead of concrete. We copied the original design and dimensions from the original vents of the house. The study area used to be a common bedroom and houses the remaining vintage furniture from the previous owner. And in order to control the amount of light entering the space while the homeowner was working, we added Venetian blinds to control the light for his comfort. And as a memento, the homeowner added his grandfather's chair as something to remember him by. The homeowner valued the history of the common bedroom as Zubir Said's studio. Here, he composed many of his famous works and gave his music lessons. Despite facing the main road, which was even busier back in the 50s and 60s, he said that the noise did not affect his concentration and that the life was a source of inspiration. The master bedroom is located right next to the front door, and out of respect to the heritage, we refrained from reconfiguring the spatial layout and opted to use loose furniture instead. To keep things cozy, the bed was accented with two pendant lights that the homeowner found from Bangkok, and also we used sheer curtains to soften the light flooding into the room in the morning. Having a space to grow with the homeowner also means there could be change in lifestyle, there could be change in different needs during the different phases of the homeowner's life in the house. The apartment is a quiet refuge, but when it was Zubir Said's home, it was lively with his family, students, and other musicians. The block is now more than 70 years old, and like any old buildings, something always needs attention. But this apartment has a soul. It has played an outsized role in Singapore's history, and the owner is proud to call it home.